What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be discussing what happened to SoFaygo's debut album, Pink Heartz. Now, Faygo teased this album a while ago, like back in early 2020. I think it was around May. And this was supposed to be the follow-up to his newest EP, After Me, after he signed to Cactus Jack Records and Travis Scott. But obviously, we're sitting at the very end of 2021. He's definitely not dropping in December. So this brings up the question, what happened and where is this album? Now, a lot of factors probably play a part in this. One, he signed. Two, obviously, he couldn't drop around this time. And three, the label he was signed to, which was Cactus Jack Records, has other artists. Obviously, Travis is an artist himself, and he was in the middle of the rollout for Utopia. He dropped 2 songs before the Astroworld Festival. The entire thing with Astroworld happened, and he was also working on Utopia. We also know that Don Toliver released his album, The Life of a Don. So obviously Travis wasn't going to let both Don and Faygo drop albums, at least not side by side with each other. There was probably going to be a few months spread out, and I'm assuming that Travis wanted to kind of wait out some of the hype for songs like Knock Knock and a couple other songs that were doing well for Faygo. But we're at the point now where Faygo doesn't have a big song. He doesn't really have a huge established name. He's definitely big and people know who he is. He was featured on Trip at Night. He just released a new song, a collab song with Internet Money and Rock Ken, which was called Beautiful. But other than that, Faygo has been quiet. I haven't really seen much of him talk about anything, and obviously he hasn't released anything. The last solo track that Faygo released was around 3 or 4 months ago, called Let's Lose Our Minds. Now, this is not a good sign, especially for a newer artist. I bring this issue up a lot. Big examples of this are Ian Dior and Lil Skies. Lil Skies is definitely the huge example of not releasing music and losing a lot of his hype and quote-unquote falling off, whatever you want to consider that as. But we're seeing the same exact thing with Ian. Even though Ian has an established release date now on January 21st, 2022, the hype is almost completely dead for his album, and I don't see anyone hyping it up. No big accounts posting it. I'm sure people like DJ Academics and Rap will talk about it, or at least put it on the new music dropping this Friday once we get around that time. But Ian waited 2 years to release an album at the size he was at, and that hurt his career a lot. Same thing with Lil Skies. Lil Skies waited over a year to release a new album. That hurt his career. And we're looking at Faygo, who was coming off of some hype, released a song that didn't do bad by any means, but it didn't pick up a lot of traction like stuff like Knock Knock did. So there's really no excuse for the reason why Faygo shouldn't be releasing, but I think there is one major factor of why we haven't gotten this album yet. It all leads back to Travis Scott's whole Cactus Jack thing. We obviously know that Utopia is delayed, and Don got very lucky that his album released before that whole situation happened, because now we're in a situation where Travis is still being canceled, and he just has a lot going on right now that who knows what's really going to happen with that. I personally think he's going to be all right, but I don't know that. We saw DaBaby got uncanceled, I guess you could say, but really he hasn't had anything big happen since his cancellation, so who knows what's going to happen to Travis. And I think this is directly impacting Faygo, because Travis doesn't really want to make any business moves right now, which is directly hurting Faygo. I don't want to say that Faygo made a bad choice signing to Travis, because no one could have predicted this or seen this coming, but looking back at it, it really seems like this wasn't the best choice for Faygo, at least not in this particular moment, or it would have been better for him to release this album beforehand, because I don't want to see Faygo become one of those artists that had a few songs and then just falls off because they have to wait so long to release his album. I definitely think the second this album can release, it needs to drop, because we could be looking at a situation with Faygo where he loses a lot of his mainstream or trendy hype, which I don't want to see happen. I really like Faygo, and I think he's a good leader in this new generation of artists, and I would like to see him blow up and continue to do good numbers and lead this new kind of generation. Maybe not this entire generation, but at least have a big part in what's about to happen in rap. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think the main reason for this album not releasing yet is just because of the whole Travis Scott situation, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you are new here, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.